Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel, Hume's Little Homestead. Tonight on your menu, I don't know what's on your menu. On my menu, that I'm sticking to it, we are having chicken pot pies.
Chocolate, and they're good.
For anyone who's been following along this month, thank you. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. For the month of May, I have decided for my family to plan us a menu, and I've been sticking with it so that we won't eat out and so that we won't impulse shop at the grocery store. So I'm trying to make it this whole month with only on one shopping trip. And so far, so good. We have gone to Tractor Supply and other various things for like fencing and things for like our animals, but we have not purchased any groceries since April. It was the last Thursday in April, so I think it was like April 30th. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing. And tonight on our menu is chicken pot pies. Now, this is one of the recipes that I had to start freezing stuff because I told you guys I was just going to get all my produce on that day, and I knew it probably wouldn't last the whole month, but as soon as stuff started getting floppy, I was just going to throw it in the freezer. And that first night, I froze bell peppers immediately. I just chopped them into little pieces and froze them in Ziploc baggies. And it was about 4 or 5 days later when the mushrooms started getting soggy, so that's when I froze the mushrooms. And this recipe does have mushrooms. Sorry, kids, they're going to hate me. Except Haley. Haley loves mushrooms. A really quick update on our incubator, if you've been following along with that. If you haven't, we are hatching out chickens, and I was testing this incubator because I had a really poor hatch rate last year. I finally figured out what was wrong. The temperature is not reading correctly on the outside, but once I got it stabilized at 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit I have a little meat thermometer hanging. So can you see my meat thermometer? Once I got it stabilized, it has stayed. I also put these towels over it to hold in the heat better because it was still fluctuating. But since I put the towels on, it's not, well, it is fluctuating a little. So anyway, this isn't the greatest incubator, and I've said don't purchase this one. I'm still waiting for quail. I did get the courage to email them though, you guys. And a couple videos ago, I talked to you guys about how I do not like to email people or call people, especially companies who are dealing with stuff that I've ordered. I don't want to be an annoying customer or something like that. So I always get nervous, and I get nervous to order food at restaurants. Like, I have this weird thing about asking people for things. And so, yeah. And that's a lot of people had commented on my post about my shopping trip, and they said to get the curbside pickup from Walmart. And you guys, I don't think I could ever do it because I don't want anyone to get my groceries for me. I'm so weird. I know, I'm so weird. But anyway, this is the other incubator we bought, and it is called Farm Innovators, and this is the one I'm going to be doing the quail in. And they emailed me back really fast, actually, and they were very kind. When I ask things, I usually get kind responses, so there's no reason I should be nervous to ask, but I just am. And I've always been like that. Like when I was a little kid, I would have my brother order for me, food for me, and he's small. He's 3 years smaller than me. Oh, the wind is blowing too bad. Do you want to be in the video? Come here. So, with the quail, I want to say hi. Here's Hannah. She was playing outside. With the quail, I emailed them, and they said that the celadon eggs, and if I'm saying that incorrectly, please correct me. Go ahead and correct me. I won't be offended. They're tiny blue eggs. I ordered regular jumbo Coturnix quail eggs, and I ordered the celadon eggs, and the celadon are the blue ones, and they're having a little bit of a backup with those ones. Their birds aren't laying as quickly, so they're not getting orders out. They're a little backed up on the orders for the celadon. So I'm just so grateful that the eggs are not sitting in the mail somewhere. I was like, oh, no worries. Thank you for, responding back so quickly and friendly. And thank you for letting me know that, they're not stuck in the mail somewhere, which was my biggest concern because they were scheduled delivery date May 4th, and now we're on May 10th? What day are we on? Yeah, we're on May 10th. So, anyway, they'll ship out when they're ready, which I'm not in a rush. I'm very excited, and I'm excited to try this incubator out and see how it does. So far, I like it way better for a lot of reasons. I made a video all about that, though, so I won't go into details on that. But for now, let's make chicken pot pies. I wish I had more of these super cute ramekins. I'm going to be doing the kids' chicken pot pie in these super cute ramekins that I have. And then Ryan and I and Emmett will share just from a bread pan. That's what I plan to do. So, yeah, I want to get 7 of these little things because they're so cute. All right, and I am going out of a recipe out of the new cookbook. This is in the section casseroles. Let me show you the cookbook. This is the cookbook I'm using. And I'm using the recipe on page 308, casseroles. And I'll go over what we need for the recipe, and I'm also making my own pie crust. I thought about getting pastry pre-made, but there's a recipe in here. So I'm going to use that. This is my cooking from scratch challenge. And the other thing we might do today, I told Hannah we might do it because something that we do sometimes, it's usually when she's grouchy and doesn't want to get in the car, I bribe her. I say, after we drop the other kids off, we'll go to Safeway and we'll get donuts. And so we haven't done that in a while, especially since I'm doing this challenge. We actually haven't gone to the store since April 30th. Well, we went this Mother's Day weekend. We went and picked up a special flower for a gift for a friend. Needed some flowers delivered too. It was a really sweet, special thing. But anyway, we did go into a store, but we didn't buy any groceries. But we haven't been, the kids haven't been able to impulse shop. We have a problem. We like to impulse shop. And so Hannah's just, feeling sad that we haven't gone into a store, and she really wants a donut. We always will, not always, but on our way home from dropping off the older kids at school, sometimes we'll just go into Safeway and grab a donut. And, if I need lettuce or something, I'll grab that too. But we haven't gone for a long time. In her eyes, it's been a week, so that's not that long. But in her eyes, we haven't been in forever. And so she really wants donuts, and there is a recipe for donuts in this cookbook. So if I'm feeling up to it, we'll do that too. But right now, let's focus on dinner, because that's the important part. But I know my kids would love to have some donuts too. And I am really feeling more confident. What I've noticed in this challenge so far, it's only been 1 week, but what I've noticed is that I'm getting more confident in the kitchen. I wasn't not confident before, but I just didn't feel like I could cook every night or do that every night. It sounds like too much. And it has been a lot. I won't lie. It has been a little overwhelming at times. It's nice that we eat at my parents' on Sunday, so we haven't cooked on both Sundays of the month. But it's doable. And I'm learning that, hey, it's doable. And making your own bread is doable. It's not something that is out of reach if that's a goal that you have. It's not so far out of reach that you think that it might be. Because I'm like, oh, that sounds so hard. I could never do that. I could never cook every meal from scratch. But, if I had to, I'm learning that I totally could. And I'm also getting more confidence. And I'm starting to be able to cook a little bit faster, because that's another thing that I'm kind of slow in the kitchen. And that can be frustrating when you're fumbling around trying to find ingredients. But what I've noticed with just kind of making myself do it every night, I've gotten a little more confident and a little more a little more learning. And I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you struggle with that or if you found that to be true as well. The more you cook, the more you feel more confident. So the more you cook, the more confident you feel. I don't know. Let me know if that's how you feel. All right, let's make some chicken pot pies. For the pie crust, it will be flour, which I'm not going to pick up. It's down here. It's in a big bucket. Flour, salt. This is the salt I'm going to use for it. It calls for shortening or lard. But I do not have shortening or lard, so I'm starting to run out of stuff. Not that I thought that I had Crisco, but I can't find it, so I must not have had it. So I'm gonna use butter, but I have learned I'm putting it on my list to get Crisco and water, which is in my sink. So I've got water, and then for the actual pie, like the inside, the filling, it will be. It says a package of frozen peas and carrots. I'm going to use this. It's just frozen vegetables, mixed vegetables. So I'm going to use this instead of peas and carrots. It will probably taste better with just peas and carrots, but that's okay. It calls for half a cup of chopped onion, so I'm going to do half of this onion. It calls for fresh mushrooms, but I froze my mushrooms, so I am putting mushrooms in it, and they were looking yucky. Not, like I could tell in like 3 days they were going to be yucky, so I froze them. And they look fine, so probably will be fine. Butter or margarine, flour, which I have down here, salt, where did that go? Sage, pepper, water, milk, one of my frozen ones. We're still lasting with milk, so, but we're only on week 2. I'm probably gonna have to buy milk, you guys. I should have got 7 to 8 gallons, but I got 5, which I only froze 4 because it was still April, and then for some reason we used, oh yeah, one of the recipes called for like 2 cups of milk. I was like, what? The macaroni and cheese recipe, but I'm like, well, that'll taste gross if I don't do it, so anyway. Chicken bouillon granules. I don't have the granules, so I'm just going to use 2 of the cubes. And it will be fine. I have substituted in the past for that. 3 cups of cooked chicken or turkey. I'm going to be using our canned chicken for this. I'm going to use 2 cans of it. That should be enough. Chopped pimento. This is what I had the hardest time finding in the stores, and it's interesting that it's in this recipe. I would never think to put this in chicken pot pie, but we'll do it. If I hate it, then I'll leave it out next time. And the last ingredient is parsley, and my parsley's hanging on. I do have 1 bunch frozen because I thought for sure it wouldn't last. So I put it in this baby jar with water, almost like a plant. Like, okay, live like a flower, what you would do with a flower. So that's what I did with the parsley to help it last a little longer, and it's kind of working, so yeah. I have a whole bunch of parsley sprouted and coming up that I'm going to be planting soon, and I'm going to do a lot better at preserving my own herbs this year. That is one of my big goals this year for my garden, is to preserve my harvest, because I had a ton of basil that I ended up just pulling out and kind of throwing to the side, and I could have frozen it. I could have done something, but I didn't. I could have dried it, and I don't know. I could have done something, so that's my big goal for this year. All right, those are all the ingredients. I'm going to be using these super cute little ramekins. I love them. And then this little pan for me and Ryan and Emmett to half it, and then I'll give Emmett a little tiny bit. So, okay, let's do it. made today. I think the pot pies turned out pretty good. I got a little frustrated with making dough, so I just sort of splatted it on top. I don't know if you saw that. Hannah, please stay down. Hot oil. And the donuts turned out really good, so I'm really happy. Really proud of my work today. I hope that you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please like and subscribe. And I hope you're having a wonderful day today. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Best chicken pie I've ever had.
Me too. And
Me
I've only
too.
had 3 chicken pies in my life.
I think I've had more.
And then
First one.
you like it, but you keep spitting it out. There we go.